Alright guys, it's my favorite time of the season, ranking the compact comics, man. We've got some pretty big stuff coming up for Slightly Comics, stay tuned, but right now let's talk about some pretty small stuff, some compact sized stuff, if you will. So it was a pretty awesome lineup last year, honestly. A lot of really great stuff. A lot more cool stuff than Marvel was doing, am I right? But anyways, so yeah, we've got our lineup right here. We've got Kingdom Come, we've got Static Season 1, we've got Deceased, we've got Batwoman, we've got Superman, we've got The Authority, Superman, Batman. I mean, come on, there's never enough Batman, compact comics, am I right? We've got the New Frontier, we've got Wonder Woman from New 52, we've got Arkham Asylum, Harley Quinn, New 52, Batman The Long Halloween, and V for Vendetta. Now, hold on, there's two missing there. We Free and Why the Last Man. Why did I not include them? Well, I just didn't read them, man. I mean, I'm sure they're great, but here's the thing with Why the Last Man. I mean, it's a cool little slice, but if I read that, I'd be like, I gotta read it all. So I may as well just wait and buy, the whole collection or whatever. So that's why I didn't get that. And We Free, I thought looked pretty awesome. It's a Grant Morrison book, but I kind of wanted to focus on more superhero stuff in general. We did this last time too. We missed out on American Vampire. Maybe we'll go back and do a massive ranking every single compact comic ever, except for the ones that are not in America. There's actually like some exclusives that are not in America, like Justice League, the Nail or whatever. That's not here yet. It's like it's a Spanish copy, so I don't know where it is, but I guess somewhere in like Mexico or Spain or somewhere. I don't know. Or down in the Caribbean or something. And then of course they also have Green Arrow Year 1 there too, but we are getting that this year, so that's going to be awesome. But yeah, if you didn't know that, there are some exclusive comics that we don't have here in America, so there you go. But anyways, yeah, so maybe we'll do a big ranking of all of them one day. If they ever end, then that'd be the perfect time to. Not that I want them to end, so hopefully we won't do that then. But yeah, I kind of wanted to be focused more on superhero stuff, and V for Vendetta, because I read it, so I got to include it there too. And Alan Moore is obviously a very famous superhero writer, so that's just, I guess, comic writer in general. But anyways, so we're gonna start off today with go down the list in chronological order. But if you don't know what a compact comic is, if you haven't seen one of these videos before, let me tell you. So compact comic is sort of a nice collection. It's very compact, as the name entails. It's about the size of your manga, and it costs $10 a piece, which is really awesome. All of them are $10. No matter how big or small, it's gonna be $10, guys. And so it collects usually like a full run or like a good slice of a run. With some of these, it's more of like just like the beginning of the run and everything, and you can read on. Sometimes there's cliffhangers on occasion, but for the most part, it sort of tries to keep it self-contained. For instance, Wonder Woman, Blood and Guts, or whatever it's called. Yeah, Blood and Guts. I gotta zoom in on. I'm an old man, all right, guys. But yeah, that one, for instance, kind of ends on a little bit of a cliffhanger because it's part of the New 52 run of of Wonder Woman, so there you go, so keep that in mind. But stuff like New Frontiers, like the whole entire, it's a thick book, man, it's real thick, but it's a whole entire series. Same with Static Season 1, you've got Kingdom Come there, you've got Long Halloween, the entire series, V for Vendetta, obviously. So it's a really great way to collect an entire series, or to dip your toes into some series that you're interested in. Like, for instance, the new Tom Taylor Nightwing series is getting a compact this year, so if you're ever curious about it, you could go read it and oh, this is great, I'm gonna get more. If you don't like it, then I just throw it in the garbage. I don't know. Anyways, that's what a compact comic is. They're amazing. I love them so much, and it's better than Marvel. All right. Anyways, but here we go. Starting off with Kingdom Come. This is an absolute iconic comic and a really cool way to start off the year for compact comics here. Of course, written by the illustrious Mark Waid, and of course, artwork by none other than Alex Ross himself, the master of creating realism in comics that look like freaking paintings over like actual, like just normal comic art. So pretty insane guy there. This one is really awesome. I just love this sort of like discussion of like, superheroes and everything, and sort of like the golden age has passed and now this new age of superheroes is coming up, and they're very evil and taking things too far, way farther than the Justice League ever took them before. So it's interesting sort of seeing these aged heroes like eventually reunite together and sort of showing what the world has become. There's a lot of really interesting concepts here. Like Superman has given up his Earth name and he's become Kal-El, and Batman is retreated into Gotham. He's made Gotham like this sort of like massive like controlled regime that is ruled by fear. So it's really interesting there too. He's sort of like, he feels like it's a necessity to hold Gotham and everything, and to keep it in the state of fear in order to protect its citizens. So pretty interesting stuff. It's it's a little dystopian, but you know, Batman's just that type of guy, right? The language, the writing is just amazing. It's very like, you know, I say this a lot, comics are literature, obviously, but it has this sort of like higher literature feel to it, just the way that it's written. And it's sort of tapping into these like religious, you know, tones and ideas and stuff like that. There's just some like really hard lines. There's like this one line in the beginning, it's Wesley Dobson, our main character, and Wesley is on his way out, and he's like, you know, I don't fear death, but I fear what is left behind for you. That's not the exact quote, but freaking bars, man. It's crazy good stuff. Pretty short too. It's dense, so it does take some time. Like it took me, I broke it up into 2 days, but it took me like a few hours to read through all of it. Even though it's like pretty skinny, it's one of the skinnier compact comics. You could say it's one of the more compact comics if you want to. But yeah, it's dense. I think it's a masterpiece, to be honest with you. You can sort of take it in different ways. You can take this as sort of like a love of the golden age. You can also sort of take this as like a little bit of like an old man like yelling at the clouds, like, oh, you know, these new superheroes suck, man. You know, the old guys, the old way is right. You know, so you can sort of take it in two different ways, which I feel like the other way would sort of make it less fun, I guess, if that's sort of like your interpretation of it. But you know, everybody's open to their own interpretations. I personally think it's quite great. I'm probably gonna have to put it in S tier. First comic, it's already in S tier, guys. It's over. I feel like it's a low S tier. I like it a lot. I wouldn't say it's like my all-time favorite comic, but I think it is definitely like, I feel like it deserves the title of masterpiece. Anyways, so Static Year 1. This one is pretty interesting too. Sorry, Season 1. You know, there's too many Year 1s in DC. I get confused. All right, what can I say? But Static Season 1, this is one that I just read very recently. I wrapped up by reading like 3 of these back to back, which we'll talk about as we go through those ones. But this is my second to last one that I read. And man, it's pretty good. I don't really have a lot of exposure to Static. I mean, I've seen some of the series. The series is phenomenal. If you haven't seen it, you gotta check it out, man. It's great. The DCAU is a phenomenal universe, man. There's all these just wonderful animated, you know, series and movies and everything that just feel very true to the characters, made with so much love in the animation. Fantastic. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about Static Season 1, man. Focus up already, dang it. This one is pretty interesting. It's sort of a modern retelling of Static's origin. I'm not super familiar with Static's origin, so forgive me if this is like, oh, this is just the same, you idiot. But the point is, so our boy Virgil Hawkins, he goes to this, you know, this riot and everything like that, this protest, I should say. And he gets gassed by the police. The police unleash this harmful new chemical that they've not tested out before, and they're like, let's see what happens, you know. So, and then of course it affects people. Some people die, other people get superpowers, and of course Static, Virgil is our guy that gets some pretty awesome electric superpowers and everything. So, you know, it's not all bad, I guess, but and then the story sort of goes on from there to be like the story of like, you know, this organization hunting after these superpowered beings, these people that just recently got superpowers. So, you know, it's pretty standard. This is a plot you've probably heard before somewhere, but it's pretty cool. It's a good sort of start to Static, and it made me more interested in his character. I already liked his character as it is, but I was like, yeah, this guy's pretty freaking awesome, man. The artwork is really cool. The artwork almost has like a little bit of a manga feel, kind of. It's not in black and white, but something about it just sort of feels a little twist of manga. You know what I mean? Just a little twist of manga. But yeah, it's pretty good. I enjoyed it quite a bit. It's one that I've had my eyes on for a while. I just never picked up, and I was like, you know, if I'm gonna make this video, I gotta do it justice. I gotta read them all, except for the ones I didn't read, of course. But yeah, it's pretty good. I quite enjoyed it. Is it the best out of this one? No, it's not the best out of the bunch, but I think it deserves, I would say, probably like a low A. Obviously a cool like sort of look at our time and sort of like how characters can evolve given the context of our time. I think that's kind of interesting too. Sort of how it uses, like, you know, the protests, the Black Lives Matter movement there as sort of a way to look into, like, you know, Virgil Hawkins and everything like that. I think that's pretty interesting. Yeah. So Static Season 1. Pretty dang good, man. Pretty dang good. Dceased, baby. Woo! This is the first one that I read. I think this is the first comic that I read this year, actually. And listen. All right, hold on. Put the pitchfork away. Put the pitchfork. No torches. I'm not a big fan of zombie stuff as far as superhero things. I don't really care about Marvel zombies, to be honest. I mean, I've seen the first episode, and that was pretty cool. I'll watch the whole series. Hold on, I'll watch it. All right, I'll watch it. But the comic, I don't care, man. Whatever. Do I want to see, Spider-Man die in a horrific way? No. But Dceased, though, I was like, okay. My good friend Ray, my buddy, my main man, he was talking about it. He's like, yeah, it's pretty cool, man. Like the emotional beats of it are great. I was like, okay, I can live with that. I like some good emotional beats. He was right. The emotional beats are amazing. Really, I feel like this elevates. I think Marvel Zombies is good, and I think it's iconic. I think the first few whatever are quite cool. And if you're into that sort of thing, then there you go. It's awesome, right? But I feel like Dceased might have them beat, just like the emotional beats. But we're making some beats over here, right? But the emotional beats of Dceased, I think, are just phenomenal. There's a lot of parts that tug on your heartstrings, like for instance, Batman unfortunately gets infected, and the Bat family's like, oh no, that's not good. So it's sort of like sad and slow crawl to the finish line for Batman, and sort of the passing on of the mantle to somebody. And I think there's a lot of meaning in that. And there's a really great scene between Superman and Pa Kent, for instance. There's some other great scenes too that are very emotional. So this one won me over. I think the action is pretty sweet too. It's kind of sad, like seeing all of our favorite superheroes get zombified, but it's pretty dark. Obviously for it's a zombie project. I mean, why wouldn't it be dark? And yeah, it's sort of bleak, but there's also a sense of hope there too, permeating through it all. And it's just a fun time, man. It's a good book. I was really surprised. I was like, this is the one I saw. I was like, I don't know, maybe. But then Ray sort of like convinced, I gotta read it for Ray, and I did, and it's pretty dang good. I'm gonna be real. No, I'm kidding. We're put it at above Static. Sorry, Static, but if you had more zombies, maybe it'd be above. All right, Batwoman. Here we're getting to the real guys. This book, I'm not even gonna tease it. I'm not gonna walk it out here. This book is freaking awesome, man. This book is so good. If I had to recommend one book on this, there's two I'd really like to recommend. But if gun to my head, bat gun to my bat head, Batwoman is the one to go with, man. Batwoman. The artwork. Hold on. Let's talk about the artwork first. The artwork. Just look. Hold on. Let me pull up some of these panels here. Look at this. Hold on. Look at this one. No. Wait. Look at that one. Come on. Look. That's awesome. That's so good. Batwoman is phenomenally drawn. It just has this just beautiful like art piece. Like if you put any of these panels up in an art museum, people are like, yeah, man, yeah, that belongs here. It's just so beautiful, and the story is just so fun too. The introduction to Batwoman and everything, and sort of what she's got going on there, and sort of the twisty turniness of one of her villains that I don't want to say too much. Like, I want you to read this one, guys. It's so good. I don't have any experience with Batwoman. I saw it. I was like, Greg Rucka. I like Greg Rucka quite a bit. Greg Rucka, phenomenal. He's a great writer. He of course helped write Gotham Central, which is also getting a compact comic this year too. Sponsored. No, I'm kidding, it's not sponsored. I wish DC, if you want to sponsor me, I'm right here. My phone's right here. I'm waiting. I saw that it was Greg Rucka. I was like, okay, Greg Rucka is quite good. I loved his Wolverine run. Obviously Gotham Central was great. I've not read his Wonder Woman series yet. If it got a compact, then maybe I would. Right? Yeah. But but I was like, yeah, this is just fantastic. Love the story, love the characters. Have no familiarity with them at all, but it instantly made me a fan, made me want to read more. So it's great. The first arc I think is better than the second arc. I think there are 3 arcs in this one. I forget how many arcs there are. Listen, I read this last year, alright, hold on. But, the first arc especially is really great. The rest of it is quite good, too, so I really enjoyed it. A lot of emotional beats, too. There's, a really heavy issue that's like, God dang. It really punches you. It's definitely my favorite issue in the series so far. That it reveals some sort of deeper sort of backstory that's very heavy. So you know what I'm doing here. You guys already know. It's C. No, okay, we're good. Get out of here. Kingdom Come, you're great, but Batwoman, come, you can't find me in this. Batwoman is better than Kingdom Come. All right, don't tell Ethan this. All right, but anyways, Superman Birthright, man, we just got too many great stuff. We got to get to the mid stuff. Don't worry, it's in there. It's here. Don't worry, you can see it. You can see it. But the point is, Superman Birthright, it came out at the perfect time. Obviously, it was released for Superman the movie, which is also great too. It's not getting a compact comic, so don't worry. It's a movie, man. But anyways, the point is, Superman Birthright is a cool. I say modern, but it came out like 20 years ago, man. But it's still it's modern compared to the original Superman comics. That's 100 years ago, man. Basically at this point, not quite, but we're getting there. We're getting there. Don't worry. But yeah, Superman Birthright is written by, guess what, Mark Waid again. He's back. And it's this modern retelling of Superman's origin and everything, and sort of how he sort of operates and everything, and sort of what has happened. I especially love, one of my favorite bits of it is the Lex Luthor stuff. It paints Clark and Lex as childhood friends, or mid teen, preteen-y sort of type friends, because Lex is also from Smallville too. And it's really fascinating stuff. I like that a lot. It's not something that I feel like it's been done more and everything. I think they do it in Smallville? I haven't seen Smallville. All right. Well, do you think I got infinite time, man? I got to read all these compact comics. I don't got time to watch Smallville. They call it Smallville, but it's pretty big for Smallville, because it's like, how many seasons is that? I don't know. Anyways, bad jokes aside. Yeah, I love that. I love that sort of that change there. I don't know if this is the first one to do it. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm not a Superman head. I just like Superman a lot, but I don't have infinite knowledge. I'm not about here to tell you guys about Superman number 587 or something. That's a classic one, I'm sure. But the point is that, yeah, this cool sort of modern retelling, very fun seeing how the characters that we know and love from Superman's sort of gang all sort of interact and everything and meet up and stuff like that. The artwork is very beautiful too. It feels very of its time in the best way possible. And yeah, it's a great, if you're looking for a good Superman story that isn't All-Star Superman, this is a great alternative. And it also is it canon? I don't know. What is canon these days? I don't know. Who knows? But the point is, it's a really cool Superman origin story. So if you're not super familiar with his origin, why not start here, man? It's great. Surprise, I'm putting it above Kingdom Come. You can't stop me. We could stop me. You pause the video if you want. That would stop me. But anyways, The Authority by Warren Ellis. Listen, Warren Ellis is a great writer, alright? It's just that he sucks as a person. So, separate the art from the artist a little bit if you want. But you can also please tell me how much you hate Warren Ellis in the comments too. But listen, one of my favorite comics is written by him, so I can't completely hate him too much. I can only hate him as a person. But anyways, the point is, the Authority. This is obviously released because James Gunn's The Authority, and everyone's like, what do you mean? What is that? But we've got the Engineer in Superman, so we're one step closer to the Authority movie. This one is really cool. I liked it a lot. Being introduced to this team. Obviously, Midnighter is the best character in the book. There's no other option really. I mean, Jenny Sparks is cool, but come on, what are you talking about? Midnighter over I don't know, freaking whoever else. No, he's perfect. But the point is, it's this cool sort of team that saves the world. This is the Justice League obviously saves the world, but this is the guys that are dealing with the big freaking massive events that are just insane and everything. They've got this cool little craft thing that can move around and stuff like that, and take them to places and everything super incredibly fast. It's really cool. It's also very helpful for their mission. It has some pretty good interpersonal moments and stuff like that. I feel like that's the one thing that's missing from this book, is that it's big, it's epic, it's something that I feel would be very cinematic, which is why after reading this I'm yeah, we got to get an Authority movie, man. This is perfect for a movie. It's an Avengers level type thing. It's just so big and awesome. But it feels to me it's missing a little bit of that interpersonalness to it. It has some connections. There's some moments where it sort of slows down, takes some time with the characters, especially Jenny Sparks. I feel Jenny Sparks is probably the best rounded out character in this book, which is of course very purposeful, as she is, sort of someone of the main character there. But yeah, I wish it had some more interpersonal moments. That's my one sort of complaint. But everything else though is really cool. Very big book. It's also very thick too, so it's big in both terms, of scope and size, but of the book and the story. But yeah, that's what I'm missing from it, is sort of the smaller moments and everything. But they've got so much going on. It's something that sort of takes some time to get into. I liked the first arc, but as it went on, the more and more arcs we got to, it's okay, I'm really getting into this. The first time I was this is good. But then as we went on, I was okay, all right, man, all right. I don't think it really there's definitely a peak to it, but I don't think it really kept on there was like one particular thing that stood out to me as like the best, the very like this is like phenomenal. Like it stayed at pretty much the same level, which you can say is good for consistency, but there wasn't really like a peak, unlike with some of the other ones. Like I feel like Batwoman definitely has some like really high peaks that are like this is the best issue. This is the one I could point to as the best issue of the series. This one though, I don't know, maybe the final issue is definitely a good finale. The one before that, the penultimate issue, is quite good too. But yeah, consistent. I mean, you gotta love it for its consistency. I'm gonna put it at B. B for the B40s. I don't know. Anyways, Superman, Batman. You want to talk about consistency? But we're not talking about it here because we. Did I say Batman, Superman? It's basically Batman. Let's be honest. It's just Batman. Batman is the main character of DC right now, man. Do you think is Superman getting a Lego game today? I don't think so. Batman isn't either. It's not coming out yet, but it's coming out soon. But. Also, look at the cover, man. You see that? It says Superman, Batman, but Batman is on the left. Okay, all right. You had one job, DC. Come on. No, this cover is great. That's a good cover. Even though it's from the worst arc of the story. So that's great. But, listen, the first arc is great. It's Superman and Batman on the run, dealing with Lex Luthor as president, as it is. So basically the idea is that Superman is being blamed for this giant hunk of kryptonite coming in. It's a remnant from, obviously, Krypton. It's this big meteor that's going to, destroy everything and kill the entire world. And then, we wouldn't get any more Batman comics. So DC, of course, has to save the day because they can't let Batman die. But... Yeah, so Lex Luthor's like, there's kryptonite. Superman, he sucks. Get him. He put like a 2 million or 2 billion bounty on his head or something like that. And everyone's like, I gotta get a slice of that action, man. $2 billion, man, that's great. Even if the world ends, I could still, we can't spend. It's basically pointless. I don't know, but the point is, obviously Superman and Batman, as the comic states, they team up, and that's awesome. So the peak, the best part of this comic is the title of the book. Seeing Superman and Batman team up is so fun. They have dual narration. Superman says something, Batman says something. The Superman text is blue, or is in the yellow box. Batman is in the blue box. Sometimes you get some other stuff here and there, like some news reporting and stuff like that, or Lex just talking to himself like a freaking maniacal man. But that's awesome. The first arc, I loved it. I thought it was just quite good. Hold on. The problem is, look, listen, Jeff Loeb is a great. Listen. I know. He's not. he has some skeletons in his closet. Let's just say that. But as a writer, though, he's quite good. Maybe he's not always quite good. Sometimes he's made some stuff that's we don't gotta talk about that. That's not getting a combat comic ever. No, most likely. If it is, then what are they doing? But listen, you wrote two of my favorite comics of all time. One of them is on here, so I can't. Listen, you already know what that one's going to be. You already know. But the point is, and Spider-Man Blue is just really great stuff. So he is a good writer. And I think he writes Superman and Batman quite well, so that's a plus. But the other characters, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not as familiar with some of the other characters. Some of them don't really feel like they're as well written as they could be. They don't feel like they're true to character in some instances. So that's probably a problem. Maybe, I don't know, but I think the main stakes of the book are there. It's just that some of the other characters aren't as well written, but they're not the main focus. So you can kind of give it a pass. You can give it a pass. He's having too much fun with Superman and Batman to care about. I don't know, Power Girl. Who cares? No, Power Girl was great. Shut up. But the point is though, the second arc. I love Supergirl. All right. You're gonna see Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow on the next year's ranking list, and I'll tell you what, it's gonna be pretty high. All right, let me tell you. I'm excited for the Supergirl movie as well, man. So there we go. But I don't know. It's not great. It's not great. Listen, Let me say everything here. Don't just start right away before I say everything here. So. I don't know, it's just not that great, honestly. It still has some of the greatness of Superman and Batman together, this is awesome, but it just, I don't know, it just didn't really work for me, to be honest with you. And it also feels like it really sexualizes Supergirl, which I don't really like that a lot. I think it's okay to sexualize characters in comics because they're the peak of humanity. They're these godlike beings. So of course they're gonna look amazing. They look handsome and just beautiful and stuff like that. So that's okay. I think that's fine. as long as they're of age, you know, and older. But, you know, I don't want to see any crazy stuff, alright? Listen, please. So I think that's okay. If it's done too much and too far, and if that is the only aspect of their character, then obviously that's terrible. But if they actually have a good dimensional character there, besides just being beautiful, there you go. I'm not saying that that's the problem with this book, but I don't know, man. I feel like maybe they just take it a little too far in some instances, man. Like, why is she always without clothes, man? Did you guys forget how to draw a quote? No, but the point is, no, this isn't the only problem with it. I just don't think it's a very good arc of the book. It just doesn't, I don't know, it's just, I don't know what it was. It's just something about it besides that just rubbed me the wrong way. I was like, I don't know, this isn't really that great. But the first part of the book, don't worry, the first part of the book is great. If you want to buy this, then if you want to just read the first part of the book, I won't blame you. We'll go C. Listen, it's close to B, alright? It's pretty close. Alright, this is the other book I was talking about. When I said I wanted to recommend 2 books to you guys that you should read, if you've not read them before, out of this line of DC compact comics. It is, of course, Batwoman, and it is DC, The New Frontier. My voice is getting messed up as I talk a lot, because I'm a very talkative person when it comes to comics, so pardon me for all the throat clearing as my voice slowly dies. But anyways, that didn't help things. But the point is, DC, The New Frontier, written in art by Darwin Cook, the master himself, the maestro of comics, who unfortunately has passed away, and has passed away for, I think, about a decade now, which is really sad, because he's such a brilliant and beautiful mind, and just a very stunning artist. This is so good. This is so good. It's a very much a love letter to the Silver Age of comics. It's very much focused on 3 main characters. You've got Hal Jordan, you've got Barry Allen, and you've got John Jones, Martian Manhunter. It has some stuff with Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman, of course. Batman is almost this mythological creature of the night over like an actual character, which I love. I think that's a great way to handle Batman, because it's mostly focused on the Silver Age stuff, and Batman is obviously not Silver Age. Wonder Woman's story is pretty interesting too, sort of how like she like gets like mistreated by the government and everything. I think that's interesting. And Superman is sort of the same old Boy Scout self, so that's cool. There's some other stuff going on here too, like you see Rick Flag, which is pretty awesome. You see some of like the adventurer stuff that they used to do. So that's pretty cool too, so I love that. But yeah, it's mostly focused on like the Silver Age stuff and sort of like the complexities of that. It not only does it sort of like analyze the Silver Age, but it also like takes a look at the stuff going on at the time too, of the 50s and everything, and sort of like recontextualizes that in like strictly in the 50s. It's like a period piece basically. It is a period piece. What am I saying? And not basically, it is. So it's really awesome in that regard. It's pretty heavy in some places too. There's some really interesting commentary, social commentary, and social issues and everything that it deals with, especially with one particular character, which I'll let you discover, because it's very heartbreaking, but it's really well done too, and sort of shines a light on the injustice of the era too. So yeah, it's very fun. It's lighthearted in some instances. The artwork is just so, if you've not experienced a Darwin Cook book, like please. The only problem with this book is that it is a compact comic, and that's great. You can take it with you where you want to go, but I think it does the artwork justice, but the artwork is definitely better experienced in a larger book. Out of all these, there's only 2 that I recommend specifically to like definitely get in like larger books, and that would be, you know, New Frontier is one of them. The other one, you probably already know if you've seen any of the videos on the channel, especially one of the more popular ones. But yeah, no. Really beautiful stuff. It's such a great story, and really, if you want to get into DC, I feel like this is the perfect way to do it. It's a great like sort of survey of all these like iconic characters. It's amazing, and some characters you may not know either, so that's awesome. Obviously, I'm gonna put it as tier. These are really close to each other, but I have to give it to New Frontier. We're getting into New 52 stuff. New 52 stuff is hit or miss for me. I mean, they did like what 52 books, so obviously there's gonna be some good stuff there too. We would hope, and there is, yes. But New 52 Wonder Woman, I'm just gonna be blunt. All right, I'm gonna say it. When are they going to release great Wonder Woman books for compact comics? Like the 2 that they've released are good, but they're not great. Honestly, I think this one is better than Earth 1 personally. And I enjoyed it. It was a fun ride. I liked it. I think it's cool. It's very much analyzing the pantheon, which sometimes we don't really get to see as much from Wonder Woman. in yeah, this sort of like Greek mythology and everything stuff, which is fun. The side characters are really fun. It's sort of the story of like, you know, this woman that is carrying a demigod, and sort of, you know, everyone's like, get her and everything like that, and you know, Wonder Woman is acting like as her protector and everything, and she's with Hermes or whatever, and you've got what's his name, Apollo. He's like, he's doing all these crazy things and everything like that. Sort of the seat of the king of the gods has been uprooted because Zeus is no longer there. And so, you know, Apollo's obviously making a move for the throne. It's really cool mythological stuff. I like it for that. I think that's awesome. It ends on a cliffhanger, so there you go. You're welcome. And I was like, okay. It's an interesting cliffhanger. It's like, oh, well, all right. Maybe I wish they included a little more, because I'm probably not going to read more of this, but, well, you never know. Maybe one day. It's good. Listen, it's good. It is good. The artwork is amazing by the same artist that did Paper Girls, so that gets an A+ for me. Artwork is great, very nice, little pastel-y, which is nice. I love that. I love a good pastel sort of color scheme there. But it just feels like I mean, this is a good one to go off because it's New 52, but it's not like obviously self-contained because it ends on a cliffhanger, which isn't as common for these comics. Sometimes they do, which is pretty rare, but most of the time they're pretty conclusive. It's sort of like some of them are like conclusive, but it's like there's more to read if you want to, so I think that's great. This one, not so much. It's like, you know, have fun, enjoy, who knows what happens next. But yeah, I don't know, I just want them to do like Greg Rucker or something, or Gail Simone. Like, is that so hard to do? I'm gonna put this at, hold on. I'm gonna put it at, see, it's like in between. It's like B-, C+ area. I don't know. I'll put it at, I'll put it at B. Why not? All right. Okay. Fine. All right. Listen, if you've not seen this video, I made a video entirely about this as a sort of a little bit of a bash of this particular comic. The actual comic is great. It's just the format is terrible. The comic itself is just like interesting, like very, very just surreal and odd and heavy atmospheric book of, you know, Batman sort of traveling through this circus of madness in Arkham Asylum. The artwork is just crazy good. It's really just stylized and heavy. It really adds. If this was done by like anyone else, it really wouldn't have worked. But the fact that the artwork just like, it just really cements it as a great work. And it's so frustrating because it's a really good book, but it's held back by its format. This is the other one I was talking about when I mentioned New Frontiers. Like, this is something that deserves a better format. It really does, because this format is not good for the story. It's hard to read. So maybe it would be better reading an ebook in this. Maybe it would work better. You could zoom in or something. It's the Joker text is written in this scraggly red font, which is really cool, very cool stylistically, but in this format it's not that great. And I feel like this is the one that suffers the most from gutter loss. I wouldn't say that every book in this in the compact comics is perfect in that regard, because there's definitely some moments where you kind of lose a bit of the pen. It gets eaten by the folds of the book, which is gutter loss. I believe that's what that's called. I could be wrong, and I could be just misusing that term, so you can call me an idiot in the comics, fine, that's fine. Yeah, no, it's really a difficult one because it's really good, but the format is just terrible for it, so I hate that. So it's probably the worst thing that has happened to the compact comics, to be honest with you. To the best story, especially, like, you know, if Superman Batman was a terrible, like, formatted terribly, that would be one thing, but you know, but if this is like, it's more of a tragedy, to be honest. So I think I should put it in B, because I don't want it, because like the format belongs, I'll be real, the format belongs here, but the actual book is elevated, so I will put it in C. Why not? All right, listen. If it was in a better format, I would put it like here, but this is a ranking of the compact comics, not necessarily it's not the ranking just of the story, but I'm taking everything into account, is what I mean to say. So yeah, which, I mean, I guess in fairness, and this should probably go down to A, but I mean, you can't do that to New Frontier. Listen, Darwin Cook, you know, come on. I can't do that to him. Speaking of Darwin Cook, he actually did a little bit of artwork in Harley Quinn as well. That's cool. Okay. Let me start by saying this. This is the one that I was least looking forward to, because it's very thick. It's like one of the thickest ones out of this. It's really long. And I was like, I like Harley Quinn. I do like Harley Quinn a lot, but I don't know. Sometimes her books can be really good. Sometimes it can be, but this one took me by surprise. All right, I liked it. I thought it was quite fun. It was a really good time. It's the story of the first issue is really fun. It's issue number 0. This is also New 52, by the way. Issue 0 is obviously 0 issues are sort of like establishing things. They usually go over the backstory or whatever, or something, some hoo-ha, setting up the story for the main run. This one is really fun. It's very gimmicky, but it's in a fun way. It doesn't feel like it's ever tired or like, all right, we get it. The story is the writers are trying to find a artist for a Harley for their run. And they run through different artists. You get a lot of like really cool artists, like Bruce Timm pops in as a guest artist. You got Darwin Cook that pops in. A lot of really cool stuff. So it's really awesome, like seeing this Harley in like a lot of different art forms, styles and everything. That's so cool. This book is it's like Deadpool and She-Hulk in the way that's told. It's very like sort of meta and everything. It has a lot of like it's a very funny book. It has a lot of movie references in it. It rips like movie like scenes like directly from the movie sometimes, which is pretty funny. I found myself like, oh well, I know what that's from a few times. But it's just a fun romp, honestly. It's really fun. It's not as good as last year's Harley Quinn and the Gotham Sirens, but it's still quite fun too. I mean, come on, how can you top Paul Dini, am I right? But the writers, it's a duo that are married, I believe. They do a great job, and the artwork is nice too. It's not it stays consistent throughout. It doesn't like hop around like the first 0 issue or whatever. But yeah, it's really a fun book. The story is basically that Harley gets left behind this apartment building because one of her old Arkham patients died and left it in their will. I think it's a he. I don't remember. They don't really go into like who it is exactly, so maybe that's the story that they reveal later, because this is part of a larger run. But it ends pretty conclusively, I'd say. There's more room for stories, of course, but it's kind of like you can leave it there, or you can pick it up and continue on if you want to. It's sort of that type of story, unlike Wonder Woman Blood and Guts. But anyways, yeah, and so like she's now like this owner of this apartment building, so she has to like have a real job to make rent, to pay for the building and everything. And she has these tenants that are now her friends that are really fun. I love that element of it. You get a lot of new fun characters they introduce there, so great stuff there, really fun. And just a lot of just her getting up to sort of hijinks and stuff like that. Somebody has put out a hit on her, so she's like trying to figure out who that is, and like she has to fight off hitmen and stuff like that, and Hitwoman, of course, too. But yeah, it's a fun time. I found myself quite enjoying it, to be honest with you. Even though it was like it was probably the biggest surprise for me. This and Batwoman were the biggest surprises for me, which is why it is it's probably like a high B, low A, but I'll give it to it. I think I like. Yeah, I'll probably put it there. Okay. I don't really have to talk about listen, I'm super biased. Batman The Long Halloween, I think for me, is the greatest Batman comic ever written. There's a lot of great ones, but I think this one just gets a lot of stuff right. It has a lot of cool villains. It never really feels overbloated. It feels like a story that's like dangerously like close to being like a mess, but it somehow manages to pull it off incredibly well. It manages to keep you on your toes. A lot of great mystery there. It keeps you wondering and guessing who the holiday killer is, and leaves you until the very end wrapped up in this mystery. A lot of great issues too. I love the Riddler issue, April Fool's Day. I love Mother's Day, very emotional. The thing that surprised me the most when I reread this one is just how deep it dives into Batman. It's not just a very surface level Batman doing these things, but it also is an analysis of the man himself, which is awesome. I don't think as many comics sometimes do this, so I love that. That it was bold enough to really like get emotional with Batman, so I love that. Obviously, Tim Sale's artwork is beautiful. It deserves to be viewed in the largest format possible. If you can rent out a movie theater to watch the pages of Batman The Long Halloween, go ahead, do it. But yeah, no, this, I mean, I'm not really gonna beat around the bush here, obviously. Listen, I think the New Frontier might be better, but I just like The Long Halloween more. Yeah, okay. That's all I'm saying there. That's all I'm saying. And the last one, V for Vendetta. Okay. You want some more controversy? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. All right, we're put it back. Put it back. Well, no, oh, okay. It's only there temporarily. This is if anybody like zooms past the end and like just wants to see my ranking, then they're gonna have a field day in the comments. Like, what do you mean, FIFA? No, okay. But anyways, it's not saying there. I promise. Not saying there. Hold on, actually. No, anyways. I like Alan Moore quite a bit. I think Alan Moore is pretty interesting. I wouldn't say he's my favorite comic writer, but I do enjoy his work. I think his work is very heady, which is cool, very dense. It really makes you think. That's great. Love that. It's not just fun and games and stuff, but it's deeper messages and everything. But I don't know. The artwork by who was his name? Danny Lloyd, I believe. Is that right? Am I stupid? I don't know. I might be stupid. I'm sorry if I don't remember the artist, but let's see. Hold on. Let's see. David Lloyd. Sorry, David Lloyd. There we go. Okay, you're welcome. You're welcome, David. Anyways, the point is though, yes. V for Vendetta is pretty awesome. It's a sort of dystopian world with the government, being a bad guy. Wow, you know what? Who could have thought? And being very controlling and manipulative on the population. And you've got this guy named V that's sort of starting this revolution that's trying to, break free of this oppression and everything. And this young girl named Evie that sort of gets wrapped up in the middle of it and sort of like becomes, sort of involved in this revolution and everything, and starts to get these revolutionary ideas and everything. It's pretty good. There's a lot of exciting moments. The writing is really great, obviously from Moore. It's much more of a British book. I mean, he is British, obviously, but Watchmen doesn't really have that British feel, But this one definitely does. I mean, it takes place in Britain, so that's also a thing factor in there too. But it does have this sort of like more like Brit-wit feel to it over Watchmen. Even though, once again, they're both written by a British guy, so maybe this doesn't make a lot of sense to you. I don't know, but yes, no. I'm looking at my ranking. I might make a change because I don't think this would be right to do it to this. Yeah, no. The point is though, no, actually, you know what? We'll get there. Hold on, we'll get there. Norton, shut up, please. I'm trying to make a video. Anyways, I don't know if you guys saw that, but anyways, the point is though, that there's some really great stuff in this book. I think the 6th issue, which is much more of a deeper dive into Evie's character, I think is probably my favorite issue. The final issue is quite great too. The first few are great introductions to the world and everything. The atmosphere is great. Sort of the way that V plays with characters and everything, and sort of the way that he's written as this very poetic character is quite good. Once again, the artwork is beautiful. Some of the most beautiful artwork out of these ones. There's a lot of beautiful artwork. I'd probably give it to Batwoman, New Frontier, and V for Vendetta, and probably like honorable mention to Long Halloween, because I mean Tim Sale, beautiful person. Anyways though, yeah, I don't know, I liked it, but I didn't love it, to be honest. I thought it was good. I thought it was quite good and very deserves its reputation, but it just didn't like hold my interest as well, to be honest. My interest is sort of waning towards the middle, and it really spiked as we got to sort of the finale, especially around issue 6, which I mean is still the middle, but I don't know, it just really, I thought it was good, but I don't know, I didn't really get like, I got some stuff from it. I thought it has some interesting messages to it. Not anything really that new, to be honest. I mean, it's pretty standard anarchy type stuff, but maybe for its time, it's a little more revolutionary in the comic world. But I don't know, I like Watchmen more personally. I think it's still quite good. I think it's a great read, and I understand why it's a masterpiece, why people really consider it in high regard. Let me drop the mic for you real quick. Let me throw down something that's probably the most controversial thing I've said in this entire ranking. I like the movie better. I said it, alright, and I'm putting it here. You can't stop me. This feels weird putting it above, lower than Harley Quinn. I don't feel good about that. I really don't feel good about that, but I'm doing it anyways, alright? Listen, you can't stop me, alright? It feels very weird. I don't know. It probably realistically belongs here, but I'm just putting that B, alright? It's my ranking, alright? Listen, alright? So there we go. The creme de la creme at the top with Long Halloween, New Frontier, Batwoman, Superman, Birthright, and Kingdom Come. I feel pretty good about this ranking, honestly, except for this. That feels terrible. And this feels pretty bad too, but, you gotta break some hearts sometimes, alright? Thank you all for watching. Let me know what your ranking is down in the comments below. I'd love to hear your ranking, and I know it's going to be wildly different than mine. I know mine is probably a little unpopular. That's okay. I accept that. I accept that. Maybe there's a few things I could finesse and finagle here or there. As far as comics I'd recommend for newer readers, I'd probably recommend Long Halloween and New Frontier the most, Batwoman as well, and Superman. Honestly, this top row is pretty safe for new readers. Dceased is very funny. If you're looking for just a fun but also emotionally driven book, that's cool too. And the first half of this is really good too. It's just that the rest of it kind of sucks. So it would be higher. It would theoretically, it's probably a B, but I don't know, man. This is the one that I ended it on. I was like, Jeff Loeb. Anyways, I'll see you all next time.